I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mr. Nutlin, would you lead us in a flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine Law Statement. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met for this meeting of the Board of Education in the Borough of Oradell. Notice of this meeting was filed with the record in Town News and all persons requesting such notice. Mrs. Norian, would you read the mission statement?
Yes, the Oradell Public School District is dedicated to the ongoing pursuit of educational excellence through comprehensive, innovative curriculum and instruction. The district is committed to providing opportunities for social, emotional, and academic discovery to foster curiosity, courage, and character. Our goal is to prepare our students to become lifelong learners who are self-directed, resilient, productive, responsible citizens.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Del Greco?
Here.
Mr. Darian?
Here.
Mrs. Downey? Mrs. Moran?
Here.
Mr. Nutlin?
Here.
Mrs. Walker?
Here.
Mr. Walsh?
Here.
Mrs. Norian?
Here.
Mrs. Nichols?
Here, at this time, we'll open to the public for agenda items only. Not seeing any, we will move to the main event of our meeting this evening, recognition of Mr. John A. Walsh. Woo!
It's funny that you should put the A in there.
Yes, I said
My
put the A
mother
in
would be
there.
happy.
So, how you feeling? Pretty good?
Yes.
Okay, we have a resolution in our agenda tonight that I'm going to read for you. Resolution, whereas John Walsh is retiring after 34 years of distinguished service as a valued member of the Oradell Public School District Board of Education, and whereas Mr. Walsh has demonstrated a profound dedication and commitment to the success and well-being of all students within the Oradell Public School District community, and whereas during his tenure, Mr. Walsh has contributed significantly to key initiatives, including facility upgrades, strategic financial planning, expectations for consistent academic achievement, and support for increased community engagement, leaving a lasting positive impact on the district's quality of education. And whereas his leadership, vision, and tireless efforts have been widely respected and have helped to shape the future of our school, and whereas the Board of Education and the entire community wish to express its deep gratitude for Mr. Walsh's selfless service and contributions. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that we, the Board of Education of the Oradell Public School District, do hereby recognize and express our sincere appreciation and respect for the services rendered by Mr. Walsh to our community and school system. Be it further proclaimed that we extend our best wishes to Mr. Walsh on his well-deserved retirement. In witness whereof, we have affixed the official seal of the Oradell Public School District and directed that this resolution be included in the minutes of the board on this 17th day of December 2025. We also have a small gift for you that I want to give you, and then I want to just say one other thing before I open the floor.
You want to face this way, John?
You can put next to your bed with a picture of the school.
Next to my bed.
You can think of us every day when you wake up. And then I just wanted to add, so over 34 years as a board member, you were pretty much, I think, on every committee and probably chaired every committee. You were a certified board member. You were an Odyssey of the Mind judge, I think, for 19 years. You were our NJ SBA delegate representing Oradell for years. And what I always remember is you always advocated for all the students at OPS, especially every year at our retreat when we set our district goals, always pushing for 100% passing rate. I was going to say it will be hard to replace you, but actually it will be impossible. And I know I speak for the board when I say we will all miss you. I'm going to open the floor first to board members. then to the mayor and council, and then to your family. And I guess I'm opening to the board. I'm going to go first since I'm up here. But from a personal perspective, I have known you almost my whole life because I grew up on your block with all your children. I went to school with Bridget. I'm pretty sure you coached my brother in Little League. When I first ran for the board almost 19 years ago, you were the one who encouraged me. I'm not sure if you remember, but you and I walked almost the entire town, going door to door, handing out our little pamphlets, talking to the residents, asking them to vote for us, and we won. To this day, you have always supported me on the board, always, and I thank you for that. And like I said before, you will have a lasting impact on thousands of children that went through OPS, and also on the town. And I especially will miss you on the board. But I'm going to open it up to the rest of the board right now, whoever wants to say anything. If anybody wants to. Mr. Notlin?
I know I'm on the board here for 2 years, but I've had the great fortune to know Mr. Walsh now for 15 years. But I don't know if he knows me for 15 years. Mr. Walsh was softball commissioner. Remember the good times with softball?
Yes, I was.
And Mr. Walsh would show up in his Volvo, and he'd be smiling, and he'd sit on the wooden thing, his arms crossed, looking at 18 knuckleheads thinking that they're Derek Jeter and can replay their glory days. And I'll never forget one of the games. There was a conflict, an argument that was getting pretty saucy, and Mr. Walsh yells from the parking lot, "Shut up and play." And we looked over, saw Mr. Walsh, did one of those, and we got back and we started to play. And it's actually, it's an indication of who you are. In the 2 years that I've got to work with you on the board, that situation in the softball game is pretty much how you play the board. You're not emotional, you're nonpartisan, you're pragmatic, and a joy to be around. And you know, you rust, and 34 years of volunteered public service is pretty remarkable. Doing anything for 10 years is pretty impressive, but to volunteer for 34 years, giving up incredible amount of time, is awesome. And I just want to thank you for being a role model for people who are on the board or for people who want to volunteer. So thank you, Mr. Walsh, for your service.
Thank you, Chris.
I try not to hurt you. Tripping, falling, breaking.
I hurt very easily now.
Mr. Walsh, for the last 2 years, you've been an inspiration to me. The outgoing support for you with Odyssey to Mind is, I would say, a testament to your time here on the board, supporting the children, right? Always thinking about the children, taking your time to go and be with Odyssey to Mind, even when it was hard to do so, right? You always supported it. Our time together on committees, I was always inspired by your drive and your knowledge, institutional knowledge. And I hope that I can one day, provide what you've provided to the towns here, but I doubt it. I mean, your volunteerism is incredible, and I hope that other people look toward you and say, wow, like, there should be more people in this world like you, because it's very rare to have somebody care as much as you do. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Mr. Walsh, John, it's been a pleasure. When I first met you, I had no white hair. None, not one.
I did that to my wife, too.
I didn't really know you before the board, but when I was a young board member, you gave myself as well as other members of the board plenty of insight into what goes on in the town, what goes on at the school. You were always an advocate for the children, especially special education. And when it came to the test scores and proctoring the exams, you were very pig-headed in terms of wanting high standards and don't smile, because we're all kind of pig-headed, but he was especially, when it came to that subject, that was your passion. And, we've gotten along very well over the years. I can only think of maybe one thing that you and I, well, there was a few things we disagreed on, like the McDonald's yellow for the,
You could look
For the
around.
curtain.
For
The
the curtain?
McDonald's, wanted McDonald's yellow for the curtain. We disagreed.
we disagreed for weeks on the interior colors of the auditorium, and we went back and forth on many different palettes. But
Part
you
of
were-
the committee.
You were adamant about the McDonald's yellow, and we did not go in that direction, and thank goodness we didn't. But
That's right. That's part of being on a committee.
But other than that, you were fine with when things didn't go your way. You were never upset. You were never vindictive. You were always someone to admire. I remember your stories of working in Wall Street. I remember your stories of in town, and I'll always admire you from your community volunteerism. I mean, I'll never be able to live up to what you've done. So, congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, Greg.
John and I were just talking a little bit when he came in, and he said, "Boy, we go way back." And I said, "We sure do, John." He coached, or was, I guess, baseball coach for 3 of my boys during their time playing baseball. And you always had that understanding and compassion for the kids. And I remember why one guy would stand, they'd put him in outfield, and he would be looking at the birds and the bees and everything, and the balls would zip by him, and we'd say, "Go get it, Tom, go get it." And John never lost control, always there to guide, to explain. So John, and I've seen that through the years, my 15 years on the board, you always look to reach out to those that need the help the most. How are we doing with test scores for the lower level kids? How are we doing for this group of kids? And that is something you were never worried about yourself or your own self-interest, but you worried just about all the kids in the school. And that's something to take with you, John, and to be so dedicated and always wearing a suit and tie. Someone said to me recently, I said, "Mr. Walsh is retiring and he's coming tonight." And they said, "I'll bet he's wearing a suit and tie." And that he is. So, John, you've been a stellar board member and a great person. And you have many more years to enjoy your rest and relaxation on every other Wednesday night.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you.
Mr. Walsh, I haven't known you that long, since I've been on the board less than a year, but you greeted me on my first day with the biggest smile and the warmest heart, and that's just been who you've been this whole year. And just hearing throughout the year, especially with the Odyssey of the Mind plaque that you were given, and hearing about your legacy here has really been an inspiration. And although it's been short, it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with you, and I wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Walsh, so I've known you 3 years, and I've always appreciated your perspective, especially with the special ed students, anytime that came up, and I've enjoyed working with you, and I applaud you for sitting up here for 34 years. So I wish you good luck, and thank you for all your volunteering.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
Yep. John, we started in a different place. I think that things on the board were a little contentious for a period of time, and we
Definitely.
weren't sure where we were.
8 years that I remember.
there were some things, we weren't sure who was standing for what, but I remember one of my friends saying to me, John Walsh, he's the guy who asks the questions that we all want answers to. And that stuck in my mind the whole time. He asks the questions. You ask questions all the time. You don't just sit there. And I have grown to appreciate your take on all of the students and what goes on in the school. I love that you and your family have volunteered and have worked for this town all these years. It's like you're an establishment of this town. I don't know if the town could run without him, but, you know, we're going to miss you, John, and
Thank you.
we'll miss your insight into everything. Thank you so much for imparting your knowledge to us.
Thank you, Catherine.
Mr. Walsh, when I became superintendent, I met with every board member. And when I met with you, I was a little nervous because you are a very experienced board member. And I asked you why you ran for the board. And you told me a story about buckets hanging in this room and that there were leaks in the ceiling. And instead of fixing the ceiling, they hung buckets and they went up ladders and they emptied the buckets every day. And that just wasn't right. And so instead of just talking and complaining, you did something. And I have immense respect for people who are willing to do and not just complain. Time and time again, we hear from people in all communities that people that sit at this table should be parents. Parents benefit from the work that they do at this table. People that continue to serve on this board who don't have students in OPS are truly here to give the gift of their strengths and the gift of their service. So thank you for continuing to give the gift of your service to this school, and I speak for the district, and especially for Ms. Shum and our Odyssey teams. Thank you for everything you've done for them as well.
Thank you, Megan.
I think a running theme from all of us, especially our new board members, was that you are very accepting of everybody who has always come on the board. And like Greg said, if we don't if we don't agree always, you're never vindictive, you're not nasty, we're always friends. And I have to say, I think going out, leaving the board now, you're leaving at a better time, because when I first came on, you had been voting, it was always 8-1, 8-1. 8 yes, Mr. Walsh no. 8 yes, Mr. Walsh no. So I think as time has gone, as time has gone, I don't know if we all came to your side or you came to us, but I think we have listened to you over the years and we have united.
Different people voted.
You
Different
voted no
board
a lot,
members.
yes, I remember.
Some of those people aren't here anymore.
True.
And John, we have no leaks in our roofs.
That's
Yes,
right.
We're going to be missing, we're going to lose our resident roof expert who knows all the roofs in the entire building.
Well, actually,
Now that you brought that up,
I put my name forward on the school board to thank Mrs. Geis, who she had my youngest son. And anybody that has my youngest son, when he was in Oradell Public, deserves somebody to honor them. But she was good. In fact, she had both my boys.
I'm not going to interrupt you, but I want you to speak last, because I want to hear from you last. So can you wait, because I want you to speak last.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because I'm going to ask Mayor James Koth to come up. He has something to say for you. I
Okay.
just want you to go your words to be last. Is that okay?
Fine.
All right.
I'm easy to get along with.
Yep, that's true. All right, Mayor.
I don't know, I would have let you speak first if you came to the council, but. So, I have a proclamation that I want to read here, but I want to share a couple of off-the-cuff remarks because I could relate to a little bit of everything that everybody said. Mr. Walsh and the Walsh family is synonymous with Oradell. And Mr. Walsh, there's not a thing that he didn't get involved in that he didn't want to be involved in. He was one of my first Little League coaches. Will and I were in school at the same time. Mrs. Geis, all these teachers' names really bring me back to, when I was here at a different time. But the one thing about Mr. Walsh is you always knew where you stood with him. There was never any messing around. He shared his opinion. He's the professor in diplomacy on the board, I guess I would say, because of all the things you've said about how he engaged his duties as a board member. He said what he believed in, he said what he felt, but it was business, right? It was what his beliefs were. Mr. Walsh, the school is, and the borough is in a better place because of you. I want to thank you for everything you've done, from heading up the senior social club when my grandmother was a part of it, men's softball. I didn't tell anybody to shut up on the field. I was ready to play. But I've lived in this town my entire life, and throughout my life, you've come into different parts of it for different reasons, and I want to say thank you very much. You've been an inspiration because you've always been sharp, you've been witty, you're well-dressed, you have a presence about you, and you're always approachable. And there are some people that have those things that aren't as approachable. But as Rita said, as you coached Tom in Little League, everybody got a fair shake, and I think that's a tremendous talent. I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have anything they want to say, but I have a proclamation I'd like to share, if you bear with me. I can get this silly thing open. So I don't have a fancy frame. I can get you one. I don't have a clock. But I have something I think a little bit better at the end of this that not everybody gets. So I'm going to put my glasses on to read it. And this is a proclamation from the Office of the Mayor celebrating John Walsh for his 34 years of service to the Oradell Board of Education. Whereas volunteers are the lifeblood of thriving communities, selflessly offering their time, skills, compassion, without expectation of reward. And in doing so, they strengthen the bonds that unite us. And whereas John Walsh has been an Oradell resident for over 57 years and has exemplified the highest ideals of volunteerism through the years of steadfast service to various community organizations within the borough of Oradell, demonstrating remarkable dedication, integrity, and generosity in support of the Oradell Little League, the Oradell Senior Social Club, and the Oradell Men's Softball League, to name a few. And whereas John Walsh in April of 1991 was elected to serve his first of 11 terms as an elected member of the Oradell Board of Education, committing himself to being a steadfast supporter of students, working to ensure they had the resources they required to obtain a first-class education. Also serving as the board and OPS's delegate to the New Jersey School Boards Association. And whereas John is concluding his 34th year of service as an elected member of the Oradell Board of Education, through countless hours of commitment, John's service has enriched lives, fostered hope, and created opportunities through his service for individuals and families to flourish. And whereas John's impact extends far beyond the tangible results of his work by touching hearts, having built trust, and cultivated a spirit of unity and compassion that will endure for years to come. And whereas it is fitting and proper that we publicly acknowledge and celebrate the extraordinary contributions of individuals whose quiet acts of service create lasting change. Here comes the good part. Now therefore be it resolved that I, James Coate III, Mayor of the Borough of Oradell, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, as John Walsh Day in the Borough of Oradell. I congratulate and thank you for your notable accomplishments and commitment to the Oradell community. His passion for our children's education and embodiment of the values that makes our community stronger and more compassionate. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Oradell are overjoyed by your contributions to our community and the tremendous sense of pride that you have bestowed upon us through your 34 years of service to the Oradell Board of Education. Congratulations, Mr. Walsh.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else from the council want to say anything?
Thank you. Mr. Walsh, I just want to say congratulations, 34 years. That's a remarkable run on any board or organization. And thank you so much for your volunteerism to this town. You're a wonderful person, and you represent the best of Oradell. So once again, thank you and congratulations, and best of luck.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks, John. I just want to echo everything that the mayor and Steve said. Last night we had a public meeting, and the mayor thankfully brought this up publicly. I wasn't aware about that, that this was going on tonight. So as soon as you said that, I just said I have to be here just to thank you, to an example of, of a life of service. So thank you, John.
Thanks, Tom.
Going to open it up to anyone else who wants to speak, if there's anybody. You can all get up together.
Moral support.
I am definitely my father's daughter. So I actually came in when I was, congratulations, Dad.
Thanks, John.
So when I wanted to become a teacher, I came to OPS to see if I could work here. And they were like, no, you cannot, because your dad's in the board. And I was like, no. But that's where I wanted to be. And,
Just put the mic a little bit closer to you so the
sorry.
recording picks it up.
Hello.
Good.
Couple of messages from Quinn. This is his grandson, not first, but grandson. You are the best grandfather. What does he want to say? Can you tell Pop Pop to wave at the camera?
Wave to the camera, John.
They're watching you.
They're watching.
Wave at the camera over there. Wave
Yeah.
at the camera.
Wave at the camera.
Yep. And you are the best grandfather. But for us, I could speak for our family. We are so grateful to have you as a father. We're so lucky. And like the way that you have touched other people's lives, even the career that I have, there are people in there that have played softball with you. They call you the commish in there, right? There's a whole bunch of men that have played men's softball, but also there are men in there that were also with you, that you taught them how to play Little League, you know, and you stood up and you were there as their father, right? As a father figure for them, and always one for us. And there's always something to say that, like, there are lots of people who will take, you have your own glass, and there's people that can take fingerprints and put them on your glass. And some people can smudge those, but you don't. You always walk around so gentle for people. And I'm so grateful to be your daughter. And I'm so grateful. And I cannot believe you guys have a day for him. That's so fabulous. So thank you so much. The 34 years that you have been here, a testament. Like, when I was starting to teach, I came to you. I was like, what do I do, Dad? This is happening in my world. What do I do? What do I do? And you always gave me the right thought and process to go with. And never, like, all the times you want to, like, burn something to the ground. You know, you're angry at something, and you're like, don't be angry. Don't walk in there angry. Walk in there and just know what's going on. And you were that light that I needed. And I really appreciate that. And I love you so much. Thank you.
Love you.
Congratulations.
I'm Christine, his second daughter, and I don't know much about this world, but I know about him in my world. And he's the best father, he's the best friend. He's always been there. If you needed something, Dad would be there for you. Never said no, always said you could do it. He's still there for me, still there for all of us. He's our rock, and we love you.
Thank you.
I'm going to try to make this short. I am Bridget. I am the oldest, as has been said already today. And I do know Dorothy. We grew up on the same street. And
You don't have to say you're the oldest.
I said that before, but now everyone knows, so it's fine. I guess that makes you and I the same, so that's not good. But we grew up on a great block in Oradell, on the River Edge border. You know, not in the highlight of Oradell, but it's the best memories we ever had. It was a group full of young kids and their families who used to get together for July 4th and Memorial Day and all those fun festivities. And all of my siblings and myself graduated from the school, as well as Riverdale. And my dad has always, as was stated before, from Little League to men's softball to the Board of Ed and the Senior Center, he's cherished every moment. He talks about it constantly, all his friends, all the stories, all the arguments, and sometimes he would say, tell me a story about what went on here, and I'd be like, why did they even want you on this board? I don't know, but I'm sure that happened a couple of times, but he is our leader. He is, you know, I'm lucky enough to have 3 sons myself, and they love my dad so much, and we are so proud to be his family, and I know he's proud of all of us. So I thank you so much. I thank you, Mayor. And it really is a testament to what a wonderful person he is and really how giving he is. And I can remember him at the Little League fields in shorts, and we were all there because, you know, that's what we did. Everyone jumped in the car and went there, and whoever was playing, whether it was the soccer team or the school things that we did, you know, he was always there, always a presence, and we love him very much, and we appreciate everything you guys have done for him, because he's loved coming here. He misses it, I can tell you that. Thank you so much.
Can I just add one more thing? I had started by saying that there were some differences and we kind of worked to get together. But one of the things that we did to work together is we went to Atlantic City for school board convention. And I think you went every year that you could. There might have been a couple years in there that you didn't go. But when you went, you were looking to get us cheaper rooms as board members so that the district would not have to pay. You made sure we knew our way around Atlantic City to the restaurants, and you took care of everybody, and you were a very big part of bringing the board together. And I want to thank you for that because it helped the district moving forward.
Thank you.
Had to put that in there.
Anyone else from the public? So last but not least, I have a letter from William. I'm going to read for you. He sent it to me. Dad, since I was a little boy, there was never a single day of my life when my dad wasn't present. At the time, being so young, I couldn't fully appreciate his servant's heart, but it wasn't until I became a father myself that I truly began to understand the magnitude of my dad's sacrifices. Honestly, I can only hope to one day be his big toe. Whether it was playing on Beverly Road after a long day's work until the streetlights came on, following you everywhere, or having you coach us in soccer and baseball, you were always there. There was never a moment when I doubted that I could call my dad for help. You were, and always have been, a constant source of strength, safety, and love. Today, we celebrate you, our father, John A. Walsh, a day that marks 34 years of service to the thousands of children who have passed through the Oradell Public School System. Few children can truly say that their earthly father reflected day in and day out the character, humility, grace, and love of our Heavenly Father, Christ Jesus. We are blessed to be among them. Thank you for showing us what pure love looks like. Love rooted in service, humility, grace, and faith. Thank you for being a place of safety and comfort, not only for your family, but for the countless children and families whose lives you undoubtedly touched. 1 Corinthians 16:14, the verse says, "Let all that you do be done in love." This verse is for you, Dad. I am so incredibly proud of you. With love, your son, William. And he's watching us. He's watching in Florida. He's watching.
Thank you, Will.
So now the floor is yours, and you can take as long as you want.
Yeah. Sound like my daughter. Breathe, 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 breathe. You're not breathing enough. Where do I start? First of all, this would have been my 36th year on the board. Second of all, I'm going down people that people mentioned. And I want to thank Jim for his words. And I had Jim in Little League a long time ago.
Was he any good?
Everybody was good. Steve and I played on the same softball team for at least 30 years. We started out on Oradell Shell, and we went on to a lot of different sponsors. Oradell Shell didn't want to sponsor us. But we had sponsors easy. We were a good team, and I'm kind of glad that Tommy picked me as the 11th player on the team so I could be the commissioner. Now, I was getting older, and without my glasses in center field, forget about it. And without my glasses at any place on the field, forget about it. So he picked the right person. I was softball commissioner. I enjoyed it. I am still the president of the Oradell Seniors until I have to talk to Jim about resurrecting that group so they can vote me out. I have never had a bad day in Oradell Public. And I can say that because I show up at meetings, I show up at board meetings, committee meetings, and whatever I feel, I say. I have been home for the longest time. I can walk with a walker. But my daughters got together and they got me a wheelchair. And the vote was use the wheelchair. So I can go along with a vote like that. Greg was talking about the vote here. Every time we wanted to change a color. I think the only thing I agreed with was the gray seats. But everything else that the committee came up with, I couldn't see it, but it looks great. It's not a little different, it's a lot different than the red and yellow. A lot of times people don't remember what their auditorium looked like, or how small it was as they got on in school and went to high school and college. But I want to thank everybody for everything they've said. I'm not going to say I agree with everything, but I do. And I want to say I'm glad that I'm still alive. And I have to remember that when I joined the board, my wife was a crossing guard. Actually, she worked in the lunchroom. She started out in the lunchroom. She didn't want to sit home after getting rid of 5 kids and sending them off to school. So she got a job in the school in the lunchroom, which was downstairs in the superintendent's office, in the board office as it is today. That was the lunchroom. So if you can imagine the kids eating lunch down there, you have to imagine it. I never went down there because I was working, but my wife used to come home with stories. Then she switched to being a crossing guard. And when I joined the school board, I felt that I should come to the meeting in a suit because I was elected, and I should ask as many questions as I could. But that didn't stop my wife. My wife used to wait till I got home and say, "Did they tell you about this? Did they tell you about that?" And it was never discussed at the board meeting. She knew more than I did as a board member. But that's the way it was. That's the way Oradell was. Jim said I ran for 11 elections. Yes, that I did. And I was not voted on with 2 of them. I ran for council in 1979 against Ernie Fay and John Regazzi, and printed up a handout. My kids, my boys helped me take it to every house, and I lost. But I think I did well. In Oradell, I think I did well at that time, 1979. The other election was, I had a committee meeting now I'm on the board, I have a committee meeting. And somebody is running for president of the Little League, which I loved. So I called the fellow that was running it, and I told him, "Listen, put my name in. I want to run for it." And they said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sure." And I got a couple of phone calls like that over time before the meeting. And when the meeting started, I called and I told them, "Listen, I'm going to be a couple of minutes late." And they said, "Okay." But when I got to the meeting, when the meeting was over at the board, I went to town hall, and the election had already been held. So I lost that one too. But that's fine. I don't have any problem. I got over it. I had 50 years to get over it, so I got over it. But I would have loved that job. I want to thank everybody for what they said. I was proud to be on the board, and I'm gonna miss it. I'm really gonna miss Wednesdays. I was on the finance committee this year, but I didn't make many meetings at all. So I wasn't a good board member as far as that. I'm glad that you overlooked the policy that says I can't miss 3 straight meetings, because when I got sick, after they told me I had a stroke, I made the 3rd meeting. And then the meetings that came later, my daughters decided that they should watch me instead of leaving me in Oradell. So we're talking about 150 miles from here, so it was tough to make the meetings. But I want to thank everybody for everything they said. I want to say especially for my kids. But thank you very much. Thanks for the proclamations. Thanks for the clock. I'm going to be looking at this thing every day. And I only have a couple of things that I have to do. I have to get better so I can make the next Odyssey in the Mind tournament, which the one of them is on Zoom, which that's easy. The judges in January. But the one in April, I had problems with, and I'm going to get better, so I'm not going to have problems this year. And they told me that I could represent Oradell Public School at the Odyssey of the Mind, even though I'm not a member. So that's all I had to hear. But thank you very much, everybody.
We all love you, Mr. Walsh. We all love you.
I love you too.
We're going to take a short recess so we can
Thanks, Greg.
eat some cookies and mingle with Mr. Walsh. Can we take a picture with Yes, we do want to take a picture of all the board members with this. Well, we'll take one, with all the board members with Mr. Walsh, and then maybe the mayor and council and Mr. Walsh, so we can send it out on our newsletter.
Okay.
So let's go around, Mr. Walsh, I guess first the board.
Okay.
What do I do?
Just sit there.
Sit there?
Just stay where you are and we'll come around you.
Just my luck. I'm sitting in a wheelchair getting my picture taken.
Oops, he's disconnected. Did he get? Did he get? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know, it's all right. You got it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't push him down.
Yeah, we saw it. It was on film.
You can just second that. You just all just ask him, stand here in front of me and then argue and say that.
Okay, we've got to have somebody, wait. Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Get in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, excellent. Perfect shot.
Well, let the mayor and council take one with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Stay here. Stay here.
Can I get Jim and the rest of them?
Yeah, we're going to have one with him, and then he's going to get you by yourself.
Good.
Come on over. Then I'll stand by you.
Thanks. I missed the
The
flash.
mayor and council. We don't.
Are you gonna be in my picture?
Good? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Time for cookies.
Hey, can I call you? Absolutely. Hello? Yes, Gwen, I can hear you. Really? Good. I don't see the camera unless it's in the middle there. Okay. So it's above her head. I didn't know that. That's new.
Yes.
Oh, great. Tell him I loved his letter. Tell him thanks for the letter.
You okay?
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't know much about YouTube. Yeah. Bye-bye. I love you. I love you. Merry Christmas. and Happy New Year. Yes.
Love you.
What do we got? Thank the girl. Hey.
How are you, Curly? Remember Curly? That was me.
And I remember.
it wasn't my girl.
No.
Okay. We can get back to our meeting. I don't think I have anything else from my report. If I do, I'll say it later, so I'm going to move on to the superintendent's report.
Okay. Good evening. Since our last meeting, several events have occurred in the district. A core group of teachers were trained in the M-Class version of Dibble's assessment to begin implementation in January. That group, representing one teacher at each grade level, along with Ms. Cummings, our Director of Curriculum, will turnkey that information to the rest of the teachers of the grade level when we return in January. We are currently in the process behind the scenes of migrating our existing data into the new system. M-Class allows for digital implementation, so instead of teachers recording something on paper, they'll record it right into the system, which also increases reliability because there's a timer within the system. So when you're giving the assessment, it keeps track of how long a student takes to respond. It also has additional intervention pieces in there that will give the teachers advice on what next steps they can take. The parent portal was open for report cards last week. As I said in the board's update this week, I will provide a link to the video that parents were provided that gives information about the updated report card and grading scales. Recently, the state released the data of all districts from last year's NJSLA. As I was concerned about the length of tonight's meeting, I held that presentation for a January meeting. Overall, OPS performed similarly to the previous years, with ELA performance higher than math performance. Last Thursday, we had the first of 2 winter concerts as our 4th grade choral and band groups performed along with both handbell groups. We will have our 5th and 6th graders perform on Friday. I have had some questions regarding that concert occurring on a Friday during Hanukkah. The scheduling of the concert was based on scheduling around other events. Riverdale Middle School had their concert last night. Riverdale High School has their concert tomorrow night. We were already scheduled to have a board meeting tonight. I do meet regularly with both the River Edge and Riverdale superintendents, and I will be speaking to them regarding having our music teams get together to plan out next year's concerts in a manner that will work for all 3 districts. I'm very excited about another musical event that will occur this week, as a group of 6th graders will sing at Care One as part of their 6th grade Give Back activities. Opportunities for students to give back are very important to me as an educational leader. I think it's important that we teach our students to share their gifts and to offer them to others. Our student government recently gave back by joining with the Oradell Police Department in their Toys for Tots collection. OPD was incredibly collaborative today as they offered to bring a car up to get the collected toys instead of us walking down, as it was quite cold. In your packets today, you have a notification of a fundraising activity submitted by the 6th grade activities committee. They are hoping to sell popcorn through a digital sale. The proceeds will cut the cost that parents pay for the spring fling, the last day of school breakfast, lawn signs, and commencement corsages and boutonnieres. The committee does know that they may not increase their budget because of this fundraising. They can just use it to cut the cost that parents will pay. Additionally, in your packets, you will notice information regarding the physical condition survey and long-range facility plan. And you will also notice a last-minute addition to your personnel agenda, a retirement. After close to 40 years of service to OPS as both a student teacher, a classroom teacher, and our teacher of talented and gifted, Ms. Sham will be retiring at the end of the year. Ms. Sham has been an institution at OPS, and I can personally express that I am having a hard time envisioning an OPS without her. However, we will formally recognize both Ms. Sham and Mrs. Bendette in the spring, when we also recognize Mrs. Terzano, who was recently named as OPS's 2025 Educator of the Year. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Iapelli is not here. I did speak with him today. He is feeling better. I had asked him to send me, you'll notice that the long-range facilities plan, the amendment is on the agenda tonight, which we had pulled last meeting. So if you want to look at it before or when we get to that section, I just asked everyone to put it in their folder. So well, I'll talk about it under Buildings and Grounds, but anything else for Mr. Iapelli that you know of? No, okay. Moving to, I believe, where's my agenda? Minutes. We have review of November 19th. Any questions or comments, please email Mr. Iapelli. And we have approval of October 15th and October 29th night. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mr. Darian. Any questions? Call the question.
Mr. Del Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Downey? Mrs. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Nutland?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes. Administrative items. Mrs. Norian, would you take that?
Yes, I would like to move on the resolution that we read for Mr. Walsh, Mr. John A. Walsh, and also the HIB report for November 2025.
Second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who was that, Mr. Del Greco?
Ms. Walker.
Oh, Mrs. Walker? Do we have any questions?
I have a question.
Mr. Darian?
Yeah, on A2. So, and don't worry, I'm not going to get into anything specific. So there were 2 disciplinary measures at the end of this HIB. Were they completed?
Yes.
They were?
Yes.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, the second one?
If it was in there, it was completed.
Okay. It was a meeting, a family meeting, right?
Let me get back to you, but typically we do not put anything in there unless we know it's going to happen. And it may often happen prior because it's also a code of conduct infraction. So I will follow up on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, since it's saying that, there were 2 disciplinary measures, and I just want to make sure they happen before we accept it. So I'm just assuming that they happened then.
I think that is a safe assumption. I will
Okay.
100% correspond though tomorrow when
Okay.
I can affirm it.
Any other questions? Call the question.
Mr. Del Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Downey? Mrs. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Nutland?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes. Buildings and Grounds, Mr. Del Greco?
Thank you. As everybody sees in their packet here, we do have the long-range facility, plan, and there's also a report here that Peter has to submit to the state. They are, I think, revising the system, and we were advised that we should, kind of review this prior to, because once they go to the new system, they would have to re-input everything again. We also, part of this report, I think we have emailed to us on the Buildings and Grounds, 500-page report, right, on long-range facility recommendations for the building. All that ties into this long-range facilities plan. Like, does everything from the roof to projections on enrollment through, the facade of the building, everything that Greg loves, all the mechanicals. It's a very extensive document with a lot of pictures. I've gotten through a couple hundred pages of it, but I couldn't finish. But at the end, that's B2. I'd like to present B1 and B2. B1 has just the use of facilities and a lot of additions here. One question, what is the Bloom Sisters?
Can I
name?
just
Okay.
finish the motion? So
Yep.
you present it? Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Norian. Go ahead, Mr. Del Greco.
Question, what is the Blossom Sisters dance?
It is a dance studio in Hackensack for children. They would like to rent the auditorium
okay.
for their recital.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Any other questions, Mr. Darian?
Yes. Item 3, the Borough of Oradell used our auditorium. There's no charge, but we provided some excellent technical support through the recording,
Yes.
which looks great on YouTube, by the way. Do we charge for them?
Yes, we will charge them 4 hours at our policy rate of $50 per hour for technical fees.
Okay.
We weren't quite sure where to put that
Yeah.
on here. However,
Okay, that's
building
fine.
usage was free. However, the technical fees, there's a charge.
I think we normally put it under facility charge, don't we, altogether? Can we just change NA to TBD?
$50 an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can change it, right?
Yeah.
Does Mr. Del Greco have to make the motion again?
I think we can make a change like that.
We're going
I
to
don't think
change
we
the
can-
line number 3 to TBD under facility charge, so
Okay.
it's not applicable.
Yep.
Any other questions? Call the question?
Mr. Del Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Downey? Mrs. Norian? I'm
Yes.
sorry, Mrs. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Nutlin?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
And Mrs. Nichols?
Yes. Curriculum, Mrs. Norian?
Yes. We have not had another meeting, and you have the official meeting minutes in your packet. But I think we had gone over it the last time at the last meeting. If you had any other questions, if you want to shoot those to us, we'll be glad to take them up as we move forward. And with that, I would like to present item C1.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Walsh. Any questions? Call the question?
Mr. Del Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Downey? Yes. Mrs. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Nutlin?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes. Finance, technology, Mr. Darian?
Yes, for finance, I don't think we have anything other than routine items. So I'd like to introduce items D1 through D6.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Walsh.
We did have a finance meeting since our last meeting. The minutes are in our packets. We mostly discussed our auditor's findings from 24-25, and we had some leftover funds, and we decided where to put them, mostly capital reserve, maintenance reserve, and emergency reserve, and as well as an amount that moves forward through the next calendar year. And then after that, we mostly focused on the upcoming budget calendar, and we set dates mostly in January to address the new 25-26 budget. Is that 25-26? 26-27?
27.
26-27. It just keeps, seems like it's way too far in the future. I don't plan that far ahead. But in January and February, we worked on our calendar. So with that, that's all I have.
Could I just ask, I noticed that in the notes that we're looking at having the auditor present to the committee prior to meeting with the board, which, is that set up or?
No.
Okay, and we will probably present at the second meeting in January?
We don't know yet, really.
We don't know?
Right? We
I
have
think
to-
we need to set the
Oh, we
meeting
don't know?
dates first.
Okay, 'cause
We
I
don't
just
know.
noticed that there was something in the minutes that indicated that that will be set up.
Yeah, it's going to be, but
Okay, okay, just wanted to remind us.
I have a question. I may have missed this. I usually check it at the meeting. We're voting on D6, Board Secretary and Treasurer's Report for November 30th, but I don't see that we got it. Did we get it? Do you know? You want to look at your email? Because I got a new phone and it's killing me. I don't remember seeing it, so I don't know if I want to vote on it without seeing it. We could have, and I just could be missing it.
Why don't we just
We can.
why don't we just pull it? Why don't we just table this until the next meeting?
Doesn't make that big of a difference.
No.
So you want to,
I'll amend my
table-
motion.
Yeah, you want to amend it to be,
Yeah.
just not include D6? I
Yeah.
could be missing it though, so.
No, I'd like to amend my motion just to introduce items D1 through D5 and have D6 tabled till next meeting.
Okay, do I have a
I
second,
second
Mr.
it.
Walsh? Okay. Any
I
other
second it.
questions? Call the question?
Mr. Del Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Downey? Mrs. Moran,
Yes.
Mr. Nutland,
Yes.
Mrs. Walker,
Yes.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mrs. Norian,
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols.
Yes. So, Mr. Walsh, any final words on delegate report? Catherine went to the meeting in your place, so she'll speak on that, but anything you want to say about delegate?
Actually, it occurred between the last meeting and this meeting, so I was going to report it now.
Okay.
Okay? But there is also, they had sent out an email to all of us to update what actually occurred at the meeting, so you can refer to the actual, I think they sent it out on November 26th, if I'm not mistaken.
They did?
Yes.
The 26th.
Send it to
School
every-
board, they sent it to everybody. November 26th, the school board delegate assembly debate, several resolutions, and 2 new officers were elected. So we had discussed the resolutions, the 3 resolutions. The first resolution was presented.
Can you remind us of what they were and, because you were supposed to get info
Yeah.
for us and then tell us?
Yeah, well, I didn't have to get info because with the first resolution, they started asking questions, but the person who was presenting the resolution wanted to withdraw it right away.
Which resolution was that?
That was the one from Delran Board of Education about new policy language would consider the nature of the crime committed before a board
Oh,
member.
a board
or char-
member's
yeah.
prior criminal record.
Right.
Okay,
So-
so they withdrew it?
They withdrew it completely, so.
Good.
According to how they put it, they, what did they say?
It was half-baked. It was
It
not.
wasn't clear.
Well, it wasn't clear, and even though they tried to talk about it a lot and people wanted it voted on, it was a little crazy. Like I have explained to a few people, the Robert's Rules was a little convoluted when they were going about this, but this is what they decided to do. And the first resolution was, the first resolution was, yeah, here. The first resolution was, as they stated, postponed indefinitely. Okay? So they took it off the floor, but they had to talk about it for a long time before they did that. Then the second item, which had to do with supporting universal free school meals, that actually did pass. And partly because the language that they have in policy already in their manual already covers free meals for breakfast and for certain students. It's not.
Right, not for everyone, though.
Well, it is for everyone, but they have people who qualify for it.
So
which
how many
makes it
voted no?
easier.
We voted no, and who else? Anyone else?
There were not that many. It did lose, so it was passed. The third resolution was from Bridgewater Raritan and was proposing new language on the STEM, excuse me, they use STEM, not STEAM programs, that education should be integrated into aspects of pre-K through 12 curricula for all New Jersey students. And after much discussion, actually, Bridgewater Raritan wanted to withdraw it because they wanted to write it better. But they got into a whole discussion again about this that was a little crazy and went on for a period of time, but they ended up with the same result, being that they postponed it indefinitely. So this one actually will come back. The STEM one will come back, I think, because they're preparing more information to present on that one. I'm not so sure on the resolution number 1, but there was just 3 resolutions that they did, and it was a very long time they discussed it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mr.
Yeah.
Nice
Nutland.
job.
So, Mrs. Noreen, so if that third one gets pushed through for another vote, and it's similar to the language that was used, that you presented, does that mean that we have to adopt it?
If it passes,
if it passes that delegation, does that mean then we have to then adjust our STEM programs to that policy or that? No?
I don't think it requires that we do. It says that this, I think that might be part of what they're rewriting. What they're writing in is how they're going to address it. They want more STEM in the schools, but they don't want to make it so that it makes it impossible for all of us to function financially.
Okay. Love to see how that's going to go.
Any other questions?
We'll keep you posted. Oh, and at that point in time, they also elected Michael Jacobs as the school board president and D'Alessandro as the vice president of New Jersey School Boards. So that's where we sit.
Okay, thank you. Personnel, Mrs. Walker.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to present F1.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walsh.
I just wanted to say, this was the first I saw on our email yesterday, I guess it was, from Ms. Shawn, and that, as our superintendent stated, it's really a loss that we're going to be seeing with Tracy. And Tracy and I go way back. We actually earned our degrees, our master's degrees together. And so it's way back when that she was in Oradell at the time, and I was in Alpine. So I wish her the well, and of course I'm sure we'll be able to remember her well when she appears here in the end of this school year.
If I vote no, because can we not accept her
we can keep her.
resignation? Can we?
Doesn't make it real.
I know, doesn't make it real, because I just can't believe that it's real. She has been here as long as my family's been involved with the school, so it's a very, she is a part of the heart of this building.
I guess sometimes it's good to leave when you're at the top of your game, though,
Yeah.
too. It's hard for those you're leaving, but
Yep.
I give her credit.
Maybe she'll get bored and come back and sub.
There you go. I like that.
She'll need something to do. Any other questions? Call the question.
Mr. Del Greco.
Yes.
Mr. Darian.
Yes.
Mrs. Downey. Mrs. Moran.
Yes.
Mr. Nutlin.
Yes.
Mrs. Walker.
Yes.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mrs. Norian.
Yes, with
Mrs.
regret.
Mrs. Nichols.
Yes, policy, Mr. Nutland?
Nothing to report, just waiting on some state, decisions, but nothing to report.
Public relations, Mrs. Downey? Open to the public? Our new board member? You have anything to say or yell at us about? This is your last chance, because once you're here,
Once you're here, you
that's
can't
it.
do it.
All right. Old or new business? Mr. Darian?
Yeah, I have, you sure anyone wants to talk? Because I got a
Oh,
couple
Lord,
things
do
I
we
want
have
to bring up.
anyone else want to go first?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
All right, I'll go first. So tonight, right, I watched the borough meeting that was here, right, about the affordable housing, right? Obviously, as a board member, as a resident, as a taxpayer, deeply concerned with the state, mandating, affordable housing and the implications of such. Also with the long-range facility plan, right, we're going through that, and I guess we're gonna have to see what the impacts are, right? Not only, when I was watching the meeting, it's a multi-step process. We're one step, so today the decision is one step, and then the next step, and then finally another step, I think, in the spring. So I'm guessing that dependent on that, I guess, what happens there, like, I guess then we might have to be reactive to our long-term plans for the building. I'm just, more of a statement, I'm just, concerned.
Which can be amended at any time, which is good.
Yes, which is really good, so, yes, I'm glad we can amend it, but, yeah. And then also just, as a spectator for the fourth grade music concert, that was a wonderful event. Mr. Butcher and Ms. Riesebeater did a great job, especially the comedy part, with the kids, that was great. And the front of the building looks great with the lights, or with the Oradell Public School lights out there for the holidays. That's great as well. That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else before Mr. Darian? Mrs. Walker?
I just wanted to say I liked Ms. Bozio's comments about the sixth grade doing give back to, I think they're going to the nursing home in Oradell. I remember when I was in Alpine, I was eighth grade advisor for quite a few years. And every year we collected presents to bring to the veterans home down here in Paramus. And it was so well received. And it wasn't only just going there, but we collected the presents, we wrapped them, marked them, and then went down and actually gave them out. And it was a very moving experience. I don't know whether they still accept that kind of thing at the veterans home, but that might be a place to look into also.
Anyone else? Mr. Nutlin?
I just want to wish our students, our teachers, the board, and our community a very happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate, a very Merry Christmas, and a New Year filled with incredible blessings.
Before Mr. Darian goes, I just actually thought about this. I actually,
Oh, jeez.
letting him go last, I don't know what he's going to say. I actually met a new family, a new parent in town this year, and she told me she has a child here. I said, oh, how's it been going? And she told me that it has been an amazing experience for their child. They came in from another school, so it's not, kindergarten or first grade. And this child is shy and kind of introverted, but from the beginning, she said Miss Hawley was amazing. And everyone has been amazing to her, the teacher, and then checking in on this student. So I wanted to say kudos to our admin team, and because we hear, the other side of things, but this parent was extremely happy with how everything was going and how welcoming they were, and even the students in the class and everything. So I thought that was a good thing to bring up. All right, Mr. Darian, give it to us.
One quick thing before Greg takes his hour and a half. I was out in front of my house doing a little decorating, and this gal turned around and said to me, oh, I don't want to scare you. And she chatted with me about my house decoration. And then I said to her, oh, you're so kind, nice. I said, do you have children at OPS? She said, yes, I do. I have 3. And she's up in your neck of the woods. A great gal, a great name from town over the years. So I said to her, how do you like OPS? She said, I love it. And she said, one of my kids who's young, I think he's in first grade or second grade, must have gotten in a little bit of a hassle. She said Miss Brancato came out with him and was able to talk to him in a way, she said, that we would have done in our home. She said disciplined, but still with structure. I meant to email her to tell her, so please share, that it was well received. So again, all these good things that we hear, we should bring back to the board because it's...
Yeah, we have a very caring staff.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Okay, great.
All right.
All right, so I wanted to talk about the number of students we have in the building, our class sizes, and what's going on throughout the community at large. Well, first, I wanted to mention we have a student, it's a enrollment projection, and it just shows, this is from the New Jersey Department of Education, it just shows historical information regarding our population by grade level, by year, and it has projections going forward. So we have historically 6 years, and it goes forward another 4, 5 years. And it looks like in 24, 25, we had a peak number of 812 students. And I'm assuming this is district-wide, not necessarily within the building, right? This is including
812 was in the building.
In the building?
Yes.
Okay, so these are in the building. 25, 26, it's down to 762, that's down 50, and then it looks like it's going to relatively slightly decline for the next several years. And that is if nothing changes. But, you know, with living in New Jersey, we all know that there's a big push for affordable housing, and there's been a lot of talk about it here in Oradell because, you know, slowly, the noose is tightening. You know, we've been doing, when I say we, I'm also on the planning board, and, you know, we put together the 2018 master plan, and at that time, we only had to negotiate with the state and the Fair Share Housing Council. And the mayor and council came up with an agreement, and basically it involved an overlay zone, which basically means if you redevelop and you have first floor commercial, you can put up to 2 floors of residential above that. It's called mixed use. It allows for more apartments. It's focused on the central business district, and there's a few areas that they designated as affordable housing zones. Not to get too specific, but in 2018, not much has changed in the town. We've had only one property that was developed, and that was the Bank of America building. And the applicant was approved for 38 units. You're like, oh my goodness, that's a lot. But in retrospect, it's a quarter the size of the property that's being developed in Emerson. So it's really not that big, considering it's a 1-acre site. And most of the bedrooms out of the 38, 23 are 1-bedroom units. So we're not going to get a lot of elementary school students out of there. So I calculated out, there's 13 2-bedroom apartments, and I figured there would be 1.5 students per bedroom as a swag number. So that would be 20 children. So that would be, you know, 13 times 1.5. There's 2 3-bedroom units, and so that would be basically 2 bedrooms times 1.5 times 2, that'd be 9 children. So we're talking altogether, roughly 30 children would be the impact on the school, maximum impact, considering all the development that we've had since 2018. Now, moving forward, unfortunately, it's not going to be the same because we're now in what's called round 4. What's different from round 3 is that the municipality doesn't negotiate with the state and Fair Share Housing Council. Any developer can participate in the negotiations. Any property owner can jump in and say, hey, I can help meet their affordable housing obligation, in addition to the Builders Association. So the mayor and council are sitting down at the table with their attorneys, with a group of people who are all gunning for them. And unfortunately, the state has stacked the deck against us. To think that we're going to not develop is an impossibility. There are some towns that got stubborn, and they basically said, we're not going to agree to anything. And then the judges just basically said, fine. And they just appointed an outside building department to manage all the zoning and the construction, and the town had no zoning control at all over these developments. Not the size, not the shape, not the use. The developer did whatever they wanted, and the town just sat there. They didn't even get the fees. The way it works is if someone else comes in and their zoning official comes in and does the inspection, that town gets all the fees, and our town doesn't even get the fees. So, you know, it is stacked against us. So moving forward, it looks like we're going to have some development in town. I don't know how much. It's under negotiations. All I know is it's going to affect us. Now, why I bring this up here? Because I'm telling everyone to relax. Things move slowly when we talk about development. We have time to respond. I know that we have a long-range facility plan. I know that if we're going to have 50, 100 more students, it's going to involve major changes to the infrastructure of the building, but nothing happens overnight. So, you know, look, as an example, the Bank of America property was approved in July, and nothing's happened since then. You know, I don't foresee any major shovel-ready projects happening for at least another 2 years. So we have time on the Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee to wait and see what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and we'll have time to respond so that if we have an impact, we'll be ready for it. Everything that we're going to be doing is very expensive. There's no quick fixes. It's going to be expensive. And you just don't want to start a process like that without something that is definitive, that you're planning for. We can't just speculate. And so, all I want to do is throw out a little bit of caution here and say, A, we're aware of what's going on in terms of the buildings and grounds and what's going on in this little town of Oradell. And B, so far we've been doing well, and C, when things do change, we'll be ready for them. That's all I have to say.
Any other old or new business or any comments?
No, and to piggyback what you're saying, that's all, that number 30 is assuming they're school-age children moving into those bedrooms. And I understand where the town is coming from, that it's probably it's better to do it on our terms than have the state come in and say, oh no, now you've balked so much, now it's on our terms. And, not an easy position to be in.
Any other old or new business? Okay, we need do you want to make a motion to go into closed session?
Yep, make a motion to go into closed session.
Second by Mrs. Norian. Roll call.
On the roll. Mr. Del Greco?
Yes.
Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Downey? Mrs. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Nutlin?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh? Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, we will not be taking any action after the closed session. Thank you.
Your ride has arrived, John. It's like they cut the heat on us. They were like,